All right. Welcome to another episode of Chaos in London. So tonight we begin our scene at night in southern London on a little park that has been set up by a local wrestling company. They've been trying to get their feet off, on the ground, get their business running, and they've managed to get in contact with a foreign wrestler from Japan. Who has graciously agreed to perform tonight. So it's a pretty big park, probably the size of like 2 soccer fields. They got, the stands are moderately filled with people. There's beer and everything. There's people mingling. And in the middle of the field, there's this big stage set up with 2 honestly kind of scrawny looking wrestlers going at it currently. Tetsuya is not up yet. His match is next, and his opponent is a man dressed in a suit with his face painted like a cat, and his stage name is Tiger Millionaire.
God damn it.
Did you get the reference?
Yeah, I
did. So go ahead and introduce your character, Tiger.
All right. So, El Tiburon de las Muertes is announced and walks out. He's currently playing a heel, so he's the bad guy, so there's probably a lot of booing going on. But he's wearing black and white tights, no shirt, and his face is painted like a skull. He's got his head shaved and everything. And he'll walk out, he'll play up to the crowd, just kind of like waving them off, pretend like he doesn't care about them. Walking down the ramp. He'll get in the ring, kind of like run the ropes a little bit to loosen up and everything and get ready.
And as Tiger Millionaire is introduced, he comes in. He's obviously a crowd favorite, They're cheering, and he has a little briefcase with him that's like a prop that he pulls out literal wads of cash and starts throwing them, to the crowd. And as they drift, like one of them drifts by, Tetsuya can see it's Monopoly money. And then he like clasps the briefcase shut and like starts flexing. And that's go ahead and introduce Danielle, Nicholas.
You said we're undercover, right? Or she's undercover?
Yes, okay. She is undercover.
She's sitting in the crowd. She's wearing a hat and I guess like a Bullet Club t-shirt. She has long black hair. It's tied back in a ponytail. She's wearing sunglasses. It's like cheap ones. Just kind of watching. She'll catch some of the money.
It is obviously very cheap Monopoly money.
Sadness.
Whenever one floats by Tetsuya, he's going to just catch it in his mouth and chew it up and then spit it at Tiger Millionaire.
So that's when the ref comes out and gets you guys ready to start. And then as soon as he calls, begin, he's out of the way. As the 2 wrestlers go at it on stage.
All right.
So we're gonna have that be kind of background right now.
That's fine.
So
can I do some background charisma performance rolls to see how well the match is doing and see how people like it?
Go ahead.
So.
And then, so as Danielle's walking through the crowd, make me a perception investigation roll as she's searching for her mark.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. All right. So how do I? Okay. I type dash and then roll. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take me a little while to get used to this.
Nah, I gotcha.
Alright, I did 3 of them, and I got a total of 12 successes between the 3.
Okay, so people are really eating up this match. Tetsuya is literally picking up Tiger Millionaire, tossing him across the ring. He bounces into the, I forget what they're called, the ropes. and he bounces back and comes in with a punch. It's all that kind of really choreographed pro wrestling stuff, and the fans are eating it up.
All right, so can you walk me how to do the...
All right, so you want to put /R space your dice pool, the less than equals to, then your difficulty, and then F1 if one's removed, which they do for most rolls.
Okay. And what's my difficulty for this one?
This is going to be standard difficulty.
I don't remember what that was. It's been that long.
Difficulty 6.
Okay. Hey, look at that.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
I think you found them.
Yeah.
I was just checking to see if you had a specialty. So, as Danielle, I'm sorry, I want to call her Danielle. I don't know. As Danielle is kind of walking through the crowd, keeping her eye on the match, also looking through the crowd, she sees a scrawny-looking kid in like punk getup who is sitting kind of in the middle of this, like the crowd, like like seats close to the ring. And he has a briefcase next to him that has a little symbol on it that she would recognize from her briefing. It's a little scorpion inside of a ring, and that is the kind of like the gang sign of the gang that is distributing this particular brand of heroin, which has been unusually addictive. Like from the reports that she's had, even so much as touching the stuff, if it gets in your skin, it can become addictive.
Wow.
So that is what she sees and knows.
And I'm just deserve or bring him in?
Preferably bring him in so they can so they can take down more of the gang.
Okay. I'm gonna just kind of glide over, be standing behind him and kind of a little bit away.
Yep. So as this is going on, Tetsuya is picking up, Tiger Millionaire, getting ready to throw him off the stage. And make me a perception awareness roll as you do this, Tiger.
Okay. Standard difficulty?
Yes, standard.
2 successes.
So as he lifts Tiger Millionaire in the air, Tiger Millionaire's hand brushes Tetsuya's shoulder, and Tetsuya feels something weird happen before next thing he knows, he's flat on his ass.
This motherfucker. And match? Oh boy.
So that is what is happening on stage as Danielle is standing behind this pretty scrawny looking kid who she sees he's texting someone, but she can't quite make out the words.
Okay. I'll just start getting closer as things progress.
Okay, make me a... Let's go with a manipulation stealth roll, because this is kind of a mix of being unobtrusive and actually being physically stealthy.
Okay. Stealth. I have stealth. Nope. Okay, so just... If I don't have stealth, you just want me to roll manipulation?
Yes, at +1 difficulty, so difficulty 7. Because I believe stealth is a skill, right, Tiger?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Just one more time here. Seven, you said?
Yes, difficulty 7. All right. So with 1 success, let's see what he rolls on his perception alertness. All right. So he's too busy on his cell phone texting and doesn't notice as Danielle is slowly getting closer to him.
Can I make out what he's typing?
You can catch like he's kind of trying to hide it, but you can see like every once in a while you can see a couple of words. It appears like he's arranging a meeting with someone and they're late.
Okay. Yeah, she's just gonna move to be standing behind him.
All right. So as she moves to stand behind him, make me a perception awareness roll, difficulty 6.
Okay, same thing. So
I said perception awareness, right?
yeah, I don't have.
Okay.
I think. What is the thing demons have for like? Don't they have some kind of boost or something?
They can detect supernatural things in a radius equal to their faith in miles.
Gotcha.
But it's a perception awareness roll, I believe. I think the difficulty is dependent on. I'm actually looking it up. I believe the difficulty is dependent on. Yeah. So make that a difficulty 7 roll because that's what the book says.
Okay. I just have perception.
Do you have alertness? Because the book actually says perception alertness.
Oh, I have alertness. I have.
So that works.
Okay. Fix that then. And
This is my first demon scene I'm esting, so we're all kind of learning.
no problem. Same difficulty 6 or 7?
7. The book says difficulty 7 for some reason. One success. So Danielle knows that some kind of energy is occurring, like somewhere near her. She can like feel some sort of supernatural emanation, but she can't tell from where it's emanating. But she can tell as it goes off that it's not something incredibly powerful. Like it's some kind of minor magical effect.
Okay. It's not coming from the kid though, right?
She cannot tell that. She does not. She just knows it's coming in somewhere within. What's her fate? Somewhere within 3 miles, some minor magical effect just went off.
Okay. Do you have an idea, like how often that would happen, or how often it happens in London?
In the southern borough, out of character tag, I don't think the southern like section of London has been claimed by any of the supernatural groups, right?
No,
it's mages. So she gets these pretty often.
Okay.
But this one felt different from most of those. Like it had a little bit of a different flavor than what she usually feels.
Okay. All right. She'll move behind him, kind of lean over. Hello there, sugar. I'm going to need you to get up and go outside with me.
He looks up, kind of startled, and make me a charisma. Well, are you trying to get him to do what you want by being like
seductive?
Yeah.
I could.
Because that would affect whether it's charisma or manipulation.
We'll go with the manipulation since she should have some bonuses for that kind of stuff.
So she is.
I guess it would just be manipulation, I guess.
Yeah, because I don't see any other skills with that. And I believe one of your merits lowers the difficulty.
Yeah, I don't know which one that is. Oh, I know which one it is. I gotta find it.
Yep, I'm looking. That is in Player's Guide to the Fallen.
Okay, I don't have that on me.
I do. I'm looking for it now.
Sweet. I will make it.
So. Oh no, it's charisma and appearance and leadership, intimidation, or empathy. So no, neither of them affect it. Okay. Although, if you wait 1 second, there's an. So reduce the difficulty by 3.
Okay, so which one am I rolling?
So manipulation, but difficulty 3.
Okay.
Because that last merit would apply.
don't know what that means.
You put an extra R in front of the dice pool.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, Sidekick likes to just throw random messages and not actually tell you what you did wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, it too.
All right. So we'll go back to that in just a second. So on stage, how is Tetsuya reacting to being knocked on his ass with magic?
I mean, he's a little annoyed, but he's also not going to, like, just fuck this dude up yet. I don't have anything that can really give me, like, what kind of magic it was, I don't think. Some power.
No, you can make... Well, how many successes did you get on the awareness roll?
I think I only got 2. Let me check.
Okay, because with 2, you would have known, like, the vicinity it's coming from, and you would have gotten, like, a general bit of the flavor, but if he hasn't encountered that specific type of supernatural before, he wouldn't quite know what the flavor is. So he would just know it's kind of weird.
Fair enough. He's encountered a werewolf, mages, and changelings.
Okay, so it has the kind of earthy tones that he would associate with when he was at the bakery when he saw Ash fighting. I think she used a gift in that.
I think so, yeah.
So that's what he would kind of sense from it.
Yeah, because she used the falling touch on somebody.
Oh, which is exactly what he used, so that's perfect.
Oh. Okay, so where's Tiger Millionaire now?
He is currently standing on the other side of the ring with his dukes up.
Okay. Tetsuya is going to do a kip up, so he's just going to jump up to his feet, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to roll for that? I've got
No, I think you're good. It's kind of cinematic at this point.
Okay, cool. He's gonna like do the like bring it motion to him, put his fists up, and go for a grapple.
All right, so the dude's gonna charge at him, and right as he makes contact, we're gonna hop really quick back over to Nicholas. So the kid kind of looks up at Danielle, a little confused, and he says, "Where you need me to go?"
Just outside with me. Figured we could have a talk.
Oh, okay, he says, and he stands up to follow her. Make me a perception alertness roll as he does so.
Okay.
All right, so with one success, as the kid stands up and gets ready to follow Danielle, out of the corner of her eye, she catches sight of like 2 big burly men heading towards them.
Okay. She'll kind of take his hand and kind of usher him outside a bit briskly.
Okay. So as they make it outside, we switch back quickly to Tetsuya. So in the few seconds that this is taken, Tetsuya has pretty easily dominated Tiger Millionaire and thrown him across the ring. And now he's doing like, you know, when they take the chairs and they like jump down him with the chairs, like he's doing that now.
Dope.
And that's when he sees a pretty scrawny looking kid being led out of the ring out of the corner of his eye by a fairly attractive woman with 2 burly men following them.
Wrestling fans get pretty rowdy. You know, just be secure or something. I would like to use my finishing move on Tiger Millionaire onto the chair.
Go for it.
Nice.
Okay.
What is your finishing move?
I gotta think of it. Hang on. Okay, so he's going to like get him like he's going for a double arm DDT. So he's got his head under his arm and he's lifting both of his arms up basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to lift him up into the air and then just fall backwards and plant him head first onto the chair.
Oh, Jesus.
Nice.
So
double brainbuster.
as Tetsuya does this, the crowd's cheering and some of them are booing. It's kind of a bit of a mixed reception, but it's very generally he has them very entertained. And as Tiger Millionaire gets up, stumbles backwards, and then collapses after the finishing move. Tetsuya would notice that like some of the little cuts and bruises the dude has are literally disappearing as he's looking down at him.
Huh. But he's collapsed now?
Yes.
Going for 10 this time.
So yeah, Tetsuya has won. And you can kind of see some of like the stage managers muttering to each other.
He's gonna do the required showing off for the crowd, getting them more pissed off at them, all that good stuff.
Yes. All right. So outside, Danielle has gotten the kid outside, and he's kind of standing there with the briefcase, looking at her, kind of confused. So what did you need to talk to me about?
1 second. You're gonna need to come with me.
Why?
She'll pull out her badge and have her hand on her gun at the same time.
So as you do this, the kid kind of looks really panicked and starts backing up. And that's when the two burly men kind of make their way out and walk up to the two of you and look at Danielle. Go, what's going on here?
What are they? London Scotland Yard, I think.
I believe so.
Scotland Yard, Inspector Dan. Inspector, I'm gonna need you two to back off, please. It's a police matter.
I'll be back in 1 second. Someone's calling the house. Sorry about that. I'm back. Did I miss anything while I was gone?
No, we're just waiting on you.
All right. So the big burly men kind of look a little confused at Danielle and then say, I think you got the wrong person. What are you doing with this kid?
It's a police matter. I'm going to need you to go back inside.
And they kind of look at each other, and then they say, I think we're going to need to see some more identification from you.
They don't give them any more than the badge, right, I assume?
No, not when she's undercover.
This is what I have. You're going to have to go back inside.
And then they nod and they say, come with us then. Bring the kid.
They look like security?
Let me look at your sheet really quick. Make a... Damn it, you don't have intuition. My favorite skill.
I didn't know it was needed.
Off the top of your head, they kind of look like security, like they're wearing the type of stuff that you would expect security to be wearing. Their shirts just don't say security on the back. And I'm looking for something in the book really quickly. So go ahead and describe what Tetsuya is doing, Tiger.
After he does the whole, going, pissing off the crowd and everything, he's gonna go to the back, go up to the stage managers, and ask them what they were talking about.
They look as Tetsuya approaches, they kind of look between each other and hurriedly like two of them like walk off.
Hey.
And the one that's still standing there looks at Tetsuya and says, "You weren't supposed to win that match."
Like Tetsuya, sorry if I got really loud. Tetsuya was yelling "Hey" at the two that were leaving.
I know they're just bolting at this point.
Oh, it's not what I was told before the match.
Well, I don't. Who was your stage manager before the match?
Oh, rattle off a name.
We'll talk to him. Just go ahead, go get your money.
I'll go get his money.
All right. So as he's going to do it, he sees something kind of weird. Do you have any legacy?
Check. No, I do not.
Okay. So stamina plus intuition. So the security people are leading like Danielle and the kid to a side door. And as they hold the door open for her to enter, go ahead and make a perception alertness roll, difficulty 7, as they're opening the door.
Is that for me or for Nicholas?
Tetsuya can actually make it as well.
Okay. I got 2.
All right. And Nicholas got 1. So both of you sense some flash of infernal magic in the surrounding area. Tetsuya senses that it's coming from the direction where he sees the security leading the girl and the boy into a side room.
He's gonna go ahead and head that way.
Okay.
Weird.
She will glance around from behind her sunglasses.
Nothing appears to be off. The doorway leads into what looks like a little office.
Okay.
And they're kind of just looking at her, like waiting, as one of them's holding the door open.
I'll wait for backup to show up, but you can go ahead and let your manager know we have a situation if you like.
Oh, very well. Go ahead and wait here. And they take the two kids into the office, shut the door.
They're taking the kid?
Yes, they took the kid into the office.
Oh, no. She's going to grab him and have him wait with her.
One of the security says, no, until we get identification that says for certain you're a police officer, the kid's staying with us. Don't worry, we won't let him leave the office.
Then will come with. I have to stay with him.
Your choice. So, as you guys enter the office, the door shuts. Like, one of them shuts the door, and Tetsuya sees the door shut and then creak open, leading to a different room. So, like, because Tetsuya could see the office, but when the door creaks open after it's shut, it opens to a different room.
He's gonna open the door. Oh.
Yeah, it appears just to be like an old storage room, like with the old costumes and stuff stored in it.
He's gonna close the door. Then he's gonna try and open it again and see if it leads to the office.
It leads only to the old storage room once more.
The rip shop. Okay.
There it. Oh, no. So, does Tetsuya have common sense?
When's the last time that I've ever taken common sense on a character?
All right, this is true. So go ahead and make me an intelligence roll, difficulty 5.
Okay. Three successes.
So 3 successes. So with 3 successes, you remember that when you were meeting the Ebon Court members, like the lords and ladies of the Fallen, the Minister of Lions, the general of the court, essentially, is a fiend who might know something about co-location and stuff like this. So you have her number. You could call her.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right. So as you are calling her up, with Danielle in the office, it appears to be just a normal office. They have the kids sit down, offer her a chair. And then one of them will sit behind the desk while the other stands at the door. The one at the desk appears to be typing onto a laptop. And after a few minutes, the door will open and make a perception alertness as it opens. All right. Is that your roll?
Yeah.
So she is too distracted by the person coming through the door to notice like the room behind him. You have a dot of legacy, so go ahead and roll your intelligence legacy. As you see this man walking through the door, he's hulking. Not quite as big as the guards, but he's pretty big with like these elaborate facial tattoos. He's a Caucasian, dark hair, and he exudes this aura of "don't fuck with me." Two successes? All right, so with 2 successes, just for a brief second, you see this man's face overlaid on a different, different body, like the surrounding area just kind of for a second melts away to reveal a desert, like city with people all around you. The man's face, the body he's wearing is dressed in like elaborate silks and such. And just this giant pair of black raven's wings is coming off the dude's back. And he has a little black halo around his head.
Fantastic.
And then after a few seconds, the like vision goes away, and the man just says, "Well, long time no see, Remiel.
We've met.
Once before." And that's when we're gonna cut back to Tiger. So you're calling Lady Zuniel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the phone rings for a few seconds, and then a woman answers. She's got like a vaguely foreign accent. You can't really place like where it's from, but you can tell it's not native like British. And she just says, Aaliyah Thompson, how may I help you?
This is Tetsuya. We have a situation.
What kind of a situation?
Somebody pulled some kid and a woman into an office room and then co-located it, and now it's just a storage closet.
I'll be there in a moment. Where are you?
They'll give the arena that they're at.
Okay, so the phone just clicks, and after a few seconds, you just see this woman walking through the crowd. Let me pull up her picture so that you can see. See this woman walking through the crowd towards you. And she says, as she reaches Tetsuya, she just says, "Where is the door that was used?"
Don't point at it.
And she looks at it, kind of examines it for a few seconds. That's not good. Do you know anything about the people who were taken through?
Not really, no.
That makes this difficult. It will be next to impossible to track them then.
One of them was wearing a Bullet Club shirt, if that helps any.
I don't know. I would need something like a name. And then make another perception alertness roll, difficulty 7. Because honestly, that ability is just so nice.
Pretty good. I failed.
You failed? Let me roll for her then, since you failed.
Fuck's sake.
I'll go ahead and say you can wait a few seconds and then roll again at higher difficulty, just because it's plot relevant.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay.
2 successes with the willpower.
All right, so somewhere within a mile to the north of you, you feel the distinctive emanations of a demon entering their apocalyptic form. And Lady Zeno kind of looks at you and says, "Well, that helps." And she just yanks open the door to like a warehouse is where the door leads now. And she just gestures for you to enter.
I'll go through.
All right. And so we're going to go back to Danielle for a few minutes. So what was her reaction to this dude saying that they knew each other once?
She seems a bit confused and doesn't remember him at all.
He kind of frowns, and you just see like the wings that he had in his vision start to manifest. Not anything, no memories whatsoever.
No, she'll have her hand on her gun.
Well, that is most disappointing. However, I need to ask you, Emil, stop interfering in my business.
What business is that exactly, Sugar?
The business of giving humans what they want.
I'm just trying to take this young man downtown and have a conversation with him.
And he smiles and he says, yeah, he just smiles and says, you always were a very bad liar, Emil.
What are the other two in the room doing? The security-looking people?
The one security dude who was standing up has the kid like hiding behind him because he sees your hand on your gun. The other one is just sitting at the table, tapping away at the desk or tapping away at the laptop still.
Okay, she'll just kind of make eye contact with each just to keep an eye on them. So we all finished. I just need to take him, and we can go, and you can go back to doing whatever you're doing.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Uh-huh. And what do you think is going to happen?
I think Alario there is going to send you back where you came from, and you will not mess with our operations anymore. And he nods at the dude standing up, like security guard standing up.
She will attempt to draw her gun.
All right, so make. I don't know if they have a roll for like quick drawing. Let's go with dexterity firearms to see if she can draw it for the opposition can stop her. All right, so 4 successes. They are not able to stop her from drawing her gun. She has her gun drawn.
Okay. But
the security guard is just going to snap his finger, and I gotta roll something. So just inky darkness emanates from the dude and quickly fills the room, and you can't see through this at all. Oh, that is not good. Oh, okay. I thought I crashed because I heard the background static go out. You scared me, Tiger. And you just hear the noise of the door opening. You still there, Nicholas?
Yep, I'm listening. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. The inky blackness fills the room. You can't see through it. Then you hear the door open.
Okay. She will sight her gun where the demon was standing.
Okay.
And she'll take a shot.
All right. So roll dexterity firearms. And he was standing in front of the door, for reference. She would know that. So
4.
No, 4 successes?
Yep.
Okay, I see. My brain was not working for a second.
No problem.
So, Tiger. So, Tetsuya and Zuniel were approaching like this. They were kind of looking through the warehouse when they saw the lights in one of the windows of one of the offices just completely go out. And like this emanating like wisps of darkness started drifting through the window. They saw the door open, but nobody came out. And then you saw Lady Zuniel headed up there. Does Tetsuya follow her?
Yep.
All right, so make me a dexterity athletics or dexterity dodge roll.
Who takes dodge?
That still avoid damage or
This is just for Tiger.
okay.
All right, so what? Okay, so what kind of pistol does Danielle have?
I'm guessing a Beretta.
Okay, so that'd be like a light pistol, right?
Yeah, I think. Let me check what London PD carry.
Okay. And when you're doing that, I need to look for. I don't think they carry something like usually, but I think I know like in an undercover case they would have given you a gun if you needed it.
Well, I think there's like tiers, like detective and stuff.
Mhm.
Carry a gun. The standard don't. Just trying to find.
So,
We'll just go with the Beretta.
all right. So go ahead and roll 5 dice. Standard difficulty and ones do not remove. So don't add the F1 part at the end. All right. Oh, you only rolled 1.
Oh crap!
All right. So as Tetsuya and Lady Zuniel are running up the stairs, a bullet whizzes right past her cheek and like buries itself in Tetsuya's shoulder.
Ow.
So take 2 lethal.
Okay.
And then the darkness starts like leaching away like into the shadows and everything. And you guys see Danielle standing with her pistol held out, pointed at Tetsuya. And Danielle, you see a African American woman and a very large Japanese man in full wrestling regalia staring at you. The Japanese guy has a bullet wound in his shoulder now.
Is it the one from earlier?
Yep.
It is. His makeup is starting to run a little bit. 'Cause he's a little sweaty, but
And no, all the security roll out too.
Yep.
Crap.
They are all gone.
All right. Sorry about that. Did you see which way they went?
no, I was a little distracted by the fucking bullet hitting me in the shoulder.
Who are you two?
Who are you? You're the one who shot me.
Inspector Hart.
Tetsuya Misawa.
Present ID. I will walk over to them, gun still drawn, look past them, and then check his wound.
It's bleeding. Like, got him pretty good, but it doesn't look like it had anything major.
I can get you a paramedic. Does this look like the arena that we were in at all?
No, it
Outside
is. It is. If you like go outside of the office,
Yeah.
it's a warehouse.
That's fantastic. All right. I'll look around for something in the office to stop the bleeding.
There's like papers and there's a thing of tissues and some tape.
Did it look like it went through, or does it look like it's still in there?
It looks like it's still lodged in there.
Fantastic. All right. Let me check your sheet real quick.
I believe with...
Do.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I will... do you want me to pull that out, or would you rather wait for the paramedics to get here?
1 second. Sorry.
It's all good.
I'm looking up pounds.
Oh, the lores.
I have lower flush, which I think lets me heal. I don't know.
Let's look. Aruru. You can alter. I would say with body control, I'd let you use that to like force your muscles to pop the bullet out.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna probably do that. What's the roll for that again?
So it's intelligence medicine. I'm gonna say this is difficulty 6. Oh, because it's difficulty dependent.
And for lures, do you have to blow a faith or anything?
Only if you botch or if it's a 4th or 5th dot lore.
Okay.
And however, there is a weird thing that I actually need to look at as Tiger's rolling.
I got 3 successes.
All right. And what is your permanent torment?
Permanent torment is cheap. 4.
All right. Because I know there's a thing. I don't remember. I have to find it in the book. But like, when you roll lures, you have to compare it to like the amount of permanent torment you have, or something like that.
Yeah. Otherwise, it has a secondary effect, or it has a different effect entirely.
Okay, yeah. When a player makes a roll to perform an evocation, she compares her successes to her character's permanent torment score. If her successes exceed her character's torment score, the effect is carried off as intended. If she rolls a number of successes equal to or less than her torment, the high torment effect of the evocation occurs. So, let's look at body control. What is the high torment? Okay.
Total successes are compared to the subject's stamina. Successes that exceed the target stamina are suffered as bashing, which may not be soaked. But I have 3 stamina.
So you're good. So as Tetsuya's power, he focuses his power, just spits out like 2 or 3 words and what are not a human language. You see his arm muscle like ripple, and the bullet pops out of his arm. And Danielle gets a perception alertness roll, difficulty 7.
Okay.
Now you don't take a permanent torment or a temporary torment because you didn't choose to invoke the high torment ability.
Fair enough.
Oh, I do. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I spaced.
Yes.
Oh, 1 success.
Okay, so the 1 success, yeah, that guy just used an evocation. You can tell pretty effectively that was infernal power, like the same type that you use.
Okay. Well, that's different. I look at the other one. Is she doing anything in particular?
She's looking like riffling through the office.
Is it safe to assume you 2 aren't working with him?
I don't even know.
No, sorry, Tiger.
Guys, I don't even know who him is.
Black Raven wings, stuff like that. Does it look like the wound completely healed?
It did not heal.
All right.
My
turn. Okay, so how do you do this?
All right. So evocation. Where is Lore of Awakening? So you're going to use Lore of Awakening 3?
Yep.
right, so it's stamina medicine. You have to be able to touch him.
Okay.
And you heal all of a target's bashing damage or one level of lethal or aggravated per success.
What's the difficulty? Standard?
As it doesn't say, so I'm going with standard.
Ew.
So, what is Danielle's permanent torment? Oh dear.
3.
So each success lowers a target's stamina temporarily. And it's lost for a number of days equal to the demon's faith score.
That's fantastic.
So
It's the opposite.
So as this woman lays her hands on Tetsuya, he feels like his strength and his vitality start withering away. And for the next 3 days, Tetsuya is at stamina 1.
Yikes! All right.
She didn't come up looking like she was going to be malicious either.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very disappointing. Okay, so I can tell it did not work out like I intended.
Yes, you can.
Do I have
So
any idea how to fix that?
So essentially how she would have experienced it is as she tried to focus her power, she got distracted by the thought of how barbarous it is that humans created these tools to kill so efficiently, and some of that tainted her evocation.
Okay.
So that's kind of how she would have experienced it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Got distracted. You want me to try again?
No. It's, no.
Sadness. I'll just go about making a proper bandage or as best I can with some tape and paper.
All right, so go ahead and roll intelligence medicine.
Success.
How many? 1. So you're able to like bandage up the wound. It's not like the best bandage, but you take like napkins and paper and layer them and then tape it on.
All right, well, that's the best I can do from here. Do you want me to call you an ambulance?
No, I think I'll be all right.
And the other girl is still rifling about?
Yep, she's like throwing papers around, looking through desks, pulling like, what's the word, drawers out of like shelves and stuff.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
I'm looking for any kind of identification for the people who were using infernal power.
We had the one. Did I get a good look at the security guard that was using the black?
You would have gotten enough to get like a decent description. He was kind of a nondescript looking Caucasian man.
Okay. Well, verbatim.
Probably body hoppers, I would imagine. And then she says, "Can you help me look through for clues?"
Look around.
So, perception investigation. And if you want to help Tiger, you can also make the roll.
Okay. Got 2.
All right.
Do it again.
Oh, forgot the D10.
Dang it.
The D part of D10.
There we go.
All right, so 5 successes in total. So as you guys are like riffling through the office, Danielle manages to come up with like a little scribbled note hidden in like a back pocket to one of the drawers that has a list of names on it and what appear to be like debt amounts. And Tetsuya finds a cell phone with contact numbers in it, but none of them are labeled.
Look at a blank piece of paper and start writing down the notes and descriptions of the 3 that were in the room. Let me see something here. Did the demon duder give his name?
Neither of them did. Actually, no. One of them did. He didn't. The big like dude with the wings didn't give his name, but he gave the name of the other dude.
The kid.
Which, yeah, not the kid. The other security guard.
Oh right. Can I use Find the Fateful?
So I put it in the side chat if you want it for reference. It's the name he used.
And
oh,
okay, I'm not the thing here. Gotcha.
She could do that. It would be difficulty 7.
Okay. So let's see. What am I rolling for that?
That is a perception awareness roll.
3. Okay. Awareness. So I gotta do 3. So it'd be difficulty 8 without awareness.
Not on power rolls.
Okay.
So just difficulty 7. All right, 2 successes. Not enough to beat True Torment. Now, so as she focuses on her like perceptions, kind of closes her eyes, opens her mind. So just as she's doing this, something distracts her. Something, as she opens her mind to the spiritual landscape of the city, all the corruption and everything, it kind of overwhelms her. And so the High Torment activates. And you can use... Now, the High Torment for this is worded weird because it says they can detect only sources of spiritual decay or corruption. But then it says they may use this evocation to seek out individuals whose faith or willpower has been reduced to 0. So I'm going to go with you still get like a little bit of a glowing image of the person's fate, because they worded that so contradictory. I'll give it to you guys. And so the little image, because essentially what she's seeing is like shadows like around her, like everything is a shadowy shape, and like the spiritual corruption and faith are like essentially like orbs of fire that are like red or blue, and she's a reddish tinged blue flame heading towards the very edge of her perceptions, heading north.
Okay. She'll close her eyes and then shake her head. I think they're heading north. see.
Should we stop them? I don't know what's happening, honestly.
I'm not sure we really can. I don't know if I can get to them. Look at the girl. Do you have a map by chance of the city?
The African American woman shakes her head.
What's north building wise that might be a good place to hang out or lay low?
Hmm. I'm looking at your sheet to see if there's something you can roll to know that. Don't have streetwise. Roll intelligence survival at difficulty 8 because it's not quite what it's meant to be used for.
Nope.
No successes. So with says she thinks are saying can't really get any idea off the top of her head.
Gonna have to go take a look around town or something. Do you have a way I can contact you both?
Tootsie will give her his phone number.
She'll put her phone and look at the African American lady.
She will just kind of look at him or look at Danielle and say, "Sure, send me your phone."
And give it to her, looking at her curiously.
She just goes, inputs her number in contacts, and puts the contact name as "only call in emergencies," and then hands it back.
Okay. What interest do you both have in all this?
I saw some weird bullshit happening, and I wanted to see what was happening.
Oh.
And I did. So.
Okay. All right, well, I'll be in touch, at least with you. Do you want me to follow up with you and talking to the African lady? And
Yes.
info? Okay.
That would be a good idea. I am Lady Zuniel, the Minister of Lions of the city. It would be a good idea if you were to keep in contact with me.
No problem. All right. I gotta figure out where I am. I'm gonna go out the door and out the warehouse, see where the heck we are.
So as you exit the warehouse, you see you're actually not anywhere apparently in London. Like the city landscape looks completely different.
Does it look like English landscape, or do I look like I'm in a different country, or?
It looks like, as you're looking, like the warehouse itself is on like the crest of a hill, surrounded by a couple of other buildings. There's green rolling hills everywhere. The city down below you is like a coastal city, and you can see it's got lots of ports and everything. There's roads leading off into the hills.
So probably Ireland.
That'd be fair to assume.
Can I go back inside? Either one of you know how to get back to London from here?
The Lady Zuniel kind of just looks at Tetsuya.
He just kind of shrugs.
Very well. Follow me. And she just walks up back to the door to the office and closes it.
Follow.
Does Danielle follow?
Yeah.
Okay. So she shuts the door, waits a few seconds, says a couple of words in that weird arcane language that demons speak when they use evocation sometimes. Opens the door, and it leads out back into the arena. And she just very hurriedly gestures for you guys to walk through.
I will do so.
Walk through.
She walks through, shuts the door, and you guys are back at the arena.
I will be in touch.
Alright.
And she will go get her car and go do some research on that landscape.
All right. What is Titsi gonna do?
He's probably just gonna go to like the Medicom staff and have them wrap the wound a bit better.
Okay. They're kind of surprised. Like they're like, well, how did you get shot?
It was the spot in the match.
The medic just kind of raises their eyebrows, but just decides not to argue.
Like he'll explain like, he took one of the he took a nail or something and just bonked me right in the shoulder with it.
Go ahead and roll that manipulation subterfuge.
All right, I got one die, and I have the bad liar flaw.
Oh, does that add die? That adds like a diff to your roll, doesn't it?
I think it's like a +2.
Let me look. It's a social merit, right? Or social flaw?
Yeah.
Why do they have all the merits first and then all the flaws? That's kind
It's
of
really fucking weird.
bad liar. Bad liar. Where is it? You know how many points it is?
It's just a 1 point.
It's a 1 point. Mistaken. Increase difficulty by 2 on any roll that involves verbal deception.
Yep, this definitely qualifies. All right. Hey, surprise, surprise! I failed.
So the woman who is treating your wound just shakes her head and says, "You really shouldn't be messing around with guns, you know. That's not ever a good idea." She's like an older, like maybe mid-60s woman. She just hands you a card and says, "If you would like to learn a little bit more control, you know, how to deal with your anger better, come visit me." And it's the card is for a little like hippie shop that she apparently runs.
What, you think I fucking shot myself in the shoulder?
No, but I think you somehow managed to get yourself shot.
I mean, in that case, I don't need to learn how to be more controlled with guns. Somebody else does.
But if you had more self-control, you never would have gotten in a situation where you would have gotten shot in the first place.
You don't know that. You don't know the situation.
And she's just kind of shaking her head.
Clean up that defensive flaw.
If you still, the offer is open. If you would like to stop by, we're always open when we're there.
Alright, I might check it out.
And then she nods and smiles. Now go ahead, go home and get some rest, honey.
He will do so.
All right. So is everybody good with ending the scene there?
Yeah.
Yep, that works.
All right. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watch, for watching. And remember, don't shoot when you can't see. See you later.